Okay, to set up the reel, you know, from scratch, let's say you just bought it, this is how it comes. What I like to start with, and it'll make sense in a second, but I like to add it to mount it to my rod, okay? And I will start with the backing, which is going to be monofilament, and then my main line is going to be braid, and then we'll finish with a liter of fluorocarbon. So first thing is, you know, open the arm, and we're going to tie the monofilament to the base of the reel here. Okay, let's try to make this. All right, so the arbor nut is just 2 overhand nut. Okay, the first one, you'll do it at the end of your tag end, like this. Okay, this one will act as a stopper. We'll make the second overhand nut over the main line, okay, using this tag end. So you're going over, and out. So this is clear somehow. All right, so we have the main line here, and we have our overhand nut here on this side with the tag end. So we had our stopper, the first overhand nut that we did, and we made a loop above the main line. So now all we need to do is to tighten it, and by giving a rocking motion, you will cinch both overhand nut at the base of your spool. Okay, so using a arbor nut, I'll secure the monofilament onto the base of the reel, and I will trim it short. Now that my line is secure on the arbor, I will close the arms. Okay, so next, now I have, you know, I have a arbor nut on the monofilament here, and now I'm ready to start spooling the line around the reel. So it's easier when there's 2 people, because one person can hold the line, because you want some tension. You know, you don't want the line to be loose around the reel, so you want it to be snug. You want some tension on that line. So what I'll do is I'll just drop this on the floor like so, and I will, with my 2 knees, I will hold the rod here, okay, and I'll take the line, and I don't know if it's visible, but okay, I'll hold the line quite high on the rod, and I will use my hand to put some tension on the line as I spool in. Okay, now I'm gonna hold the rod between my legs here, and I will start reeling in the monofilament, just like this. And we don't need a lot, just a couple of twists, and I think that should be enough. So this is enough. Okay, I did a couple of twists here, and that's fine. So now I'm gonna cut the monofilament line, and we're going to tie the braided line to the monofilament. So let me recap where we are right now. So we did a arbor nut on the reel. I have a couple of twists of monofilament as backing on the reel, and the line is going up all the way to the eyelet, the first eyelet of the rod here, and I'm holding the tag end here in my other hand. Okay. Now I'm gonna put this on my lap. So I have my monofilament here, and I'm going to tie my braided line to my monofilament, and I'm gonna use an Albright nut, and I like Albrights are very, very easy and simple to do. So for the Albright, what I'll do is I'll just pinch my mono here, form. So my mono is doubled, okay, and I have a loop which I pinch, and I'm actually using the memory of, you know, the monofilament has lots of memory, so when you kink it, it has a tendency to stay kinked. And I'm gonna use this to begin my knot. So this is what I have right now, and now I'm going to use my braided line. Then I'm going to pass through the loop, up once on this side, and then I'll come back and then go over. Let me do this here. Over itself. Okay. Now I'm gonna pinch that side here, and what I'll do is I'll go over this line. I'll do like maybe 10, 12 twists. Okay. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and I want to make sure that I'm going through the loop in the same direction as my, so I'll need to come forward one more, then through here. All right. Now I'm gonna start gently pull. 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 It's getting nice. I'm gonna wet my finger. Wet the nut. Okay. Nice. And now I'm gonna hold the two. I'm gonna leave the two open line. I'm gonna use the main line, and I'm gonna cinch it really well. And this is how I tie my Albright nut. So you see, it's a very tiny nut, so the line fuse together really well. Now I'm gonna trim this end very close. And I need to trim also this end, but it's braided line are you cannot braided line are not easy to clip with clippers or scissors, and what I like best is actually a sharp knife to cut my braided line. So I will come really close to the and then cut it like this. Okay. Recap where we are. Monofilament as, one second, what's happening here? Okay, so monofilament, harbor nut on the rail, monofilament, couple of twists. Now I have my monofilament and my braided line are connected with an Albright nut. Now I'm gonna drop, same that we did with the monofilament, I'm going to drop my spool of braid here on the floor. And same, so, you know, I leave the spool on the floor. Again, it's easier if there's two people. I'm gonna hold my line, press it against my rod, use my knees to hold the line, and I'm gonna start. So again, you don't want to put too much tension on the line. You just want, you know, the line to be snug on the reel. Okay, you don't want it to be too loose either. So when you feel you have enough line, you can stop and cut. So to finish the reel setup, and this depends on where I'm going to fish. So I will use a 6, 7, or 9 feet leader, and this depends on if I'm going to fish murky water. I will not even bother using fluorocarbon leader. I will just use my braid line as is, and you know, the fish will not see the line anyway. But if I am fishing clear water, you know, the visibility is really high, then yes, I will mount a leader to my fishing line. All right. The way to connect the fluorocarbon leader to your main line is the same with the Albright nut, which is the same nut that we connected the monofilament to the braid line. Okay, so you can rewatch that part if you forgot how to do it. All right, so one quick tips here is when you're connecting your lure to your line, I like to use a swivel. Okay, and a swivel is something like this that has two purposes. The first one is it will, you know, when whatever happening to your lure, this will twist freely, so your line is not going to twist. So that's the first purpose of the swivel. The second one is it makes attaching and detaching your lure easy. By just opening the bottom part of the swivel, you can quick attach and quickly detach fishing lures. So for example here, you know, I've been fishing for maybe half hour with this jerkbait without any result. Well, I just need to retrieve it, quickly detach it, and then I can attach something else and I'm ready to go. Okay, so this is great. Now to secure the swivel, how do I tie my swivel to my line? Okay, so this is my leader here. What I'll do is I'll double the fluorocarbon line that I have, and you can, you know, kink it a little to help create that loop. So I have a double line, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass that loop through the ring of my swivel. Okay, just like this. So what I have right now is my double line going through the ring of my swivel. Now I'm making a simple overhand nut like this, and you can see that here I'm left with the loop, right? What I'll do is I'll take the swivel and I will make it go through the loop. All right, so swivel through the loop, and I'll slowly cinch and just tighten up things a little. I'm getting closer and closer. Now I'm gonna wet my fluorocarbon line with a little bit of saliva, and you pull, 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 pull until it's tight. All right, and now I just need to trim the end. With the fluorocarbon add-on, I will usually leave maybe 1 centimeter of line after. You know, I know fluorocarbon has a tendency to slip from time to time, and so I don't want to cut it too short, you know, from the but we should be good here. It's a good solid knot. So so now we have our leader, which is connected to the braid line with an Albright nut, and now I have a quick way to attach and detach fishing lure from my line.